Good morning and welcome to Coffee Ann, the longest running panel discussion show in American radio. To make a comment or ask a question of the panel, call 401-766-1240 or email coffee@woonsocketradio.com. And now, let's join the Coffee Ann panel.
And a good morning to you. It is time for Coffee Ann here on ON Radio. Heard every Monday through Friday at 8 in the morning, 8 till 9. And here's Monday morning. It's March 13th, so it is Coffee Ann time. Thanks for joining us this morning. At the Coffee Ann table, besides myself, we'll say hey, good morning to Dave Richards. Hi there, Dave.
Hi, Joe. Good morning, everybody. Lovely day, don't you think?
I think so. And we'll also be joined by Melissa Murray.
Good morning, everyone.
Melissa. Nice to have you here with us as well. All right, comments,
Did you
questions.
Find your phone?
I found my phone.
Yes, it was.
It was going off.
It was ring-a-ding-dinging.
Yes.
Nothing important, I hope.
I guess.
No.
It's not the State House calling, really?
No.
All right, good.
No, just
good,
a
good.
reminder.
Oh, to be here, right?
Right, except it was going off exactly at 8 o'clock, and I couldn't find it because my purse is full of stuff.
So
okay.
why would it go off at 8 o'clock? Is it because you're supposed to be somewhere at 8 o'clock?
No, it's because that's the time I normally take my medication. And if I don't put it on, then I may forget.
We don't want that.
So 8 p.m., 8
Is that how they do
8
it? Because,
a.m., 8
I
p.m.
just remember.
Some people need help.
You know what? I am just apparently at that age where I need a reminder and I need a pill case because I'm like,
Oh,
did
the
I
different
take
days?
it? Yes.
You're split into your 7 days?
Because then I'm like,
Okay.
wait, did I take that this morning or didn't I? And then I look, and if it's still there, well, then obviously
And
I didn't take it.
All right.
It's
Smart.
it's great getting old.
All right. First thing to...
The youngest person on the panel says.
I know. First thing to bring up this morning, congratulations, Providence College Friars. They lost in the Big East tournament, but they move on to the NCAA tournament, and they get to play Duke Kentucky on Friday.
Oh, not Duke?
So not Duke. They play
So we
Kentucky.
can't say put up your Dukes?
Nope.
Oh.
Now the big side story to this is that there's a player on Providence College named Bryce Hopkins, a very good player, played for Kentucky last year, but didn't play a lot, and he wanted to play. So he said, "I'm out of here. Where can I go play where I'm actually going to start and contribute to the team?" And that's where he lands up at Providence College, and now they play each other.
Interesting.
So should be a very interesting game coming up on Friday night. It'll be in prime time if you want to watch it. The game will be at 7 at night. So go Friars! And of course, there's a small amount of controversy going on down there at Providence College because Georgetown University is trying to woo the coach away from Providence College to come be the coach at Georgetown. And they say, we leave him alone. He's in the tournament. Can we talk about this after this?
Right.
But no, they're trying to get him now. So that's what's going on down there, among other things, at Providence College. But, go Friars. All right, Dave, on Friday, you went up to Imperial Cars up there in Mendon, Mass. to have the big send-off for the car. And they had a nice story in today's call about
Front
the
page,
whole event.
And it
Let me grab
continued on
that.
the inside, too.
Yeah.
That made me feel good because, we saw Joe Nato there because we were there. And Melissa, I haven't given you the video yet to post, but we have a nice little video. See, maybe we should try to play it on the air. I don't know.
How long is it?
About 1 minute and 9 seconds.
Oh, that's not bad.
I chopped it all up.
If you can find it. Okay.
Yeah.
But look at the crowd that showed up.
It's great.
Oh, what a crowd.
Great
Over 30
crowd.
people, huh?
Dozens of
That's
people were
terrific.
there.
Yeah.
I know Richard Lane was putting together the caravan
Right.
to drive up there, and
Yeah.
so wow, you must have had a pretty good troop, pretty good
A lot
parade.
of people
heading that
went
way.
straight there on their way.
Okay.
But somewhere in the caravan from the post. Mm-hmm. There was about 7 or 8 cars from the post full of people.
Mm-hmm.
And when we got there, it was a bunch more people.
Now it's tough to
Gary
see.
Smith was there.
Yeah. Now it's tough to see the car on the front page of today's call.
Well, it
'cause
is
It's surrounded by people. But
Right.
but
I can see the emblem.
but open it up. Open up the
emblem
paper.
peeping out here.
Go to-
If you
go to
go
page
in on
3.
page A3,
Yeah.
there's a pretty picture of the
2008 Chevy
Yeah.
Malibu with the ribbon on it.
With a
With the
nice
red
red
ribbon.
bow.
big red ribbon on it. Can you show that to the camera? You have to put
Absolutely. Yep.
camera 3 on. And I don't know. I'll tell you what, if you give me that, put camera 1 on because you can get a
Okay.
closer
You can get a
picture of
close-up.
that. Yeah.
There you
See,
go.
there's a nice looking car right there. And they detailed that. So
Mm-hmm.
it looks like it's right off the showroom floor.
Yeah.
It really does.
I mean, even the sidewalls gleamed. It was really, really nice. And that's the 19, I'm sorry, not 19,
2008.
2008 Chevy Impala that is a big car. It's got a big back seat. So when you're driving disabled people around,
Plenty of
very
room.
easy in and out, and like that.
Oh, it's Impala. I thought it was a Malibu, but it's an Impala. Okay.
It's an Impala, yeah.
That's a big car. It's a
Yeah.
decent
big
sized
one,
car.
yeah. By today's standards. I don't know, for those who are watching in from afar, haven't seen the paper, probably don't have access to the paper like we do. I'm just going to swing around here and show you the front page. And we're delighted about this, of course, because this is something that we were a part of from the beginning, and we're just delighted. That just gives you a kind of it, because the building puts a lot of people in shadow. And
Yeah.
then down below over here, you have the picture of
The post
Mike
guys.
Penner and Bob Lafort, who is the post commander. Richard Lane is the second from the left. So we have also Vice Commander Joe Dufresne in there. I mean, the post really brought out the people.
Yeah.
Mike Penner was delighted. He was beaming when he saw the crowd out there. And we have a little video. Maybe we can get a chance to show that to you later on in the show, because we do have TV on this show. And but I didn't bring the clip. I can go find it though, because it's my clip. I know where it is.
Well, great, and hopefully, I bet Mike was looking around. Did anyone else in the crowd say, let's take a look at a few cars"?
Well, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
I was kind of busy taking pictures and doing the video thing and
Yeah.
telling everybody where to stand and that sort of thing like that.
And they did do a little ceremony for you. Just,
They did do it a little. Yeah, we'll show you that, because all I got to do is just find it.
Okay.
There it is right there. If I can just download that into give me a few moments.
Okay. And
I wanted to be there, but I was I was still a little recovering. But I was a little under the weather.
that's too
My
bad.
yearly
yearly
sinus
cold.
/ ear infection that I get every March, and I could feel it coming on.
And everybody from the post must have been happy too, then, Dave.
Oh,
now
gosh,
that they finally got the car in
you'll,
their hands.
You'll
and-
get a pretty good picture of it. I mean, in the video, when the car is being driven away, there's a lot of hurrahs and
Yeah.
That's great.
Yes, marine grunts and things like that. Oh yeah, very, very, very happy group there. And as I say, Mike Penner was delighted as well too. Made a nice little speech. You'll see it all in a few minutes here, folks, on the Coffee and Show.
All right. Then while Dave is rooting around for that,
Actually, see, I sent it to Imperial Cars. I got to download it from that site so I can play it in the TV station here.
all right. While Dave is doing that, it looks like Lieutenant Governor Sabina Matos will announce her candidacy for Congress today.
And I thought
Right.
Melissa was going to run for that.
Well, she thought about it.
She's I was considering, but Sabina is in. So
You think she's the strongest candidate, especially
Seriously?
strongest Democrat candidate to run?
I think
Well, there are no Republicans yet.
Not yet.
right, not yet, but and then I heard Alan Waters is running as a Democrat this time, but
Good old Alan Waters.
he's a little bit of everything, isn't he?
But just in your
I
opinion,
mean,
you
she
think Sabina's
just
the
came out
strongest?
of a statewide race. She has name recognition. It really depends on who else jumps in. I mean, if this could be a really crowded field, I mean, and if it's, if all the people jump in who say they're going to jump in, I mean, then
be
what
crowded.
happens?
Yeah,
It's
well.
going to be a crowded field, and then you have, because we don't have runoff, so we don't have ranked choice voting. So say 10 Democrats jump in, and someone could win the primary with a very small percentage
Sure.
of the votes.
All right. The story we have, it just says several prominent Democrats are reportedly considering. And like Dave said, so far no Republicans have come forward just yet.
I'm sure there'll be a couple.
Well, yeah. Maybe they're just waiting for the fervor
Right.
around Sabina to die down a little bit, and then they'll because they want press coverage too,
Right, right.
All right, so Sabina's she'll make that announcement. Will she do that at the State House? Do you think, or is that something she needs to do away from the State House?
If I were her, I'd probably do it in like my hometown.
Yeah,
If it
okay.
were me,
Yeah.
but Yeah.
Her hometown's Providence.
That's right.
State House is in Providence. I ask you the question again.
Well,
I know you're kind of backing into trying to be. It's none of your business where she does it, right?
right. I mean,
Just trying to guess.
does it matter? I mean,
Sure it does.
Okay.
I got that video, by the way. If you
Okay.
want, if
Will that
you
be
want to see it.
under number?
You're going to punch it up on Tech PC and on
Gotcha.
10,
Yep.
so you get the sound on there for everybody too. All right.
So we're-
It's really kind of short. It starts off with just like shutter clicks because there's some still photos. You ready?
Go right ahead, Dave.
All right. Here's the video.
We just want to thank the veterans for everything they've done and sacrificed for our country, because we can do what we do because of what you've all done for us. So on behalf of Kevin B and his family and Imperial Cars, we're just proud to give you this vehicle to use to get you guys and women back and forth where they need to go. Thank you very much.
Appreciate you. Thank you, everybody. On behalf of Post 85, we appreciate everything the Imperial has done for us, and we will make you very proud. Semper Fi.
Semper Fi.
Thank you.
And there's
I'll see you at home.
you got the mic on.
Yeah.
And there's
Who's out in the car?
that's Commander Bob Lafort in the car,
All right.
backing it out of the parking spot, and then you can hear the hoots and hollers.
Yeah, as he's driving away.
He goes, tooting as he leaves.
Horn works.
Yes, horn works, right.
All right.
And there's a picture at the post.
At the
Oh,
post.
looks
All right.
great.
There you go.
Well, great job. So we heard Mike Penna, GM from
I'll send you that
Imperial
picture
Talking,
there, Melissa, so you can
That
get
is
it up
fantastic.
on the social
and
media.
that was Rich Elaine holding the microphone for us. Good job, Rich.
Yeah.
So we could get all that on the radio and on the TV streaming on the TV as well. So great job, and boy, it was such a nice day out there, Dave. Weather-wise,
It was
boy,
exemplary day.
It was just
was.
great to pass along the car. It's such great weather, so everyone could be outside for that. So that's fantastic. All right, so well done. And when Rich joins us again on Friday, we'll get his take on how everything went on Friday. I'm sure he was very happy with how things.
If I were you, I'd put
things turned
something
out.
else on the TV.
All right, how's that? All right, let's see. The not so good news.
What? There's not so good news.
Yeah, there's
Don't
not
bring
so
us
good
down,
news
Joe.
today.
It's Monday.
There's bad
We've got a
news.
blizzard
Just
on the way.
started.
For
I
Pete's
know,
sake.
I know.
A blizzard,
But-
an actual, by definition, blizzard is on our doorstep. Don't bring us down, Callahan.
It's a full milk and bread alert again.
oh no, the milk
is.
sandwiches.
Yeah.
Oh no.
But we had a 42-year-old man die in Blackstone.
Oh, dude, now I was talking something seriously bad.
He was stabbed to death in Blackstone. Now they're not releasing the man's name. They have arrested somebody.
They're not releasing that name either.
They arrested a
yet.
32-year-old man, but they haven't released that name yet. They, according to the police and to the Worcester County District Attorney's Office, it's a domestic nature. So it sounds like they were living together.
Yep, known to the victim, right? That
And they
usually
know
is
each
the
other.
case.
The police do say that the public is not in any danger. This is an isolated case, and that they're taking it from there. But this has happened, and they will release the names when they feel it's due to release them. The suspect, the 32-year-old man, he's expected to be arraigned in Uxbridge District Court this morning. So after he's arraigned, I'm sure that's when
The
we'll
name
find
will be
out.
out there. Yeah.
That's when we get the name, and when they will release the name of the person that passed away. Well, they get next of kin, and all that stuff has to be done first, and so they'll take care of this. This all happened Saturday morning in Blackstone on Blackstone Street. The victim was transported to Rhode Island Hospital to try to save him, but he was pronounced dead at the hospital. And I think I read where they was called. The police were called to the residence for a wellness check.
Right.
And
Oh,
that's
11:15
Yeah, that's
in the
when
morning.
they found that.
Sad.
So that's what happened in Blackstone over the weekend. So more on that as it becomes available. And we had another person in Bellingham, up in New Hampshire.
Oh, yeah. She Blue Crossed herself going into a tree with a snowmobile.
Snowmobile.
Franconia Notch State Park.
And that's where they have a lot of the snow, and that's where a lot of snowmobile trails are.
Sure.
And so, but police say they think it was a lack of operator knowledge of the use of the snowmobile.
Rookie mistake.
Yeah, and if you've ever driven a snowmobile, and have you ever driven a snowmobile?
I
Melissa?
have not. I have not.
It's like driving a motorcycle. They are large. They are heavy with
And they're
a lot
top
of power.
heavy sometimes.
Yes.
Sometimes they're very top heavy.
you really need to know what you're doing. And if it gets away from you, it'll get away from you quickly. And now you're on a trail that's only 6 feet wide, lined with trees on
Yeah.
both sides up there. So did she pass away, Dave?
No.
No, she just got hurt. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Seriously hurt, but
Yeah.
not life-threatening necessarily.
All right, good. All right. But the woman's from Bellingham. That took place over the weekend as well. So
So when you obviously when you operate a motorcycle, you have to have a motorcycle operator's license. But when you go and rent, anyone can rent a snowmobile.
Anybody can rent a motorcycle.
I don't know if it's even rented. It could be a friend's.
Sure, but I know that none of
that's
like people,
important.
right?
Yeah.
I mean,
You don't have to be certified to use a
Snowmobile.
snowmobile. Up
there's
in,
no-
in New
Seems
Hampshire.
like-
There's no
like
snowmobile license.
snowmobile license,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
There isn't. I have
you
friends.
you probably have to wear a helmet. There's probably a snowmobile
probably a
helmet
good
law
idea.
for those. Yeah.
right?
It's a law. It never used to be, but there's a law to wear a helmet when you ski, and you're going far slower skiing down a mountain than you can in a snowmobile. So I'm sure there's a snowmobile helmet law at least in the northern states, Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, upstate New York as well. But that happened over the weekend as well. Crash for a woman in a snowmobile, and these things get away from you, and then
Yeah.
shoo. That's it. All right, it is time for a break here in the Coffee and program. Comments and questions can be called in at 401-766-1240. More of the Coffee and program coming your way. Stay tuned.
Right now is the time for a tune-up on your vehicle. Charlie's Tire and Service Center reminds everyone that they are an authorized dealer of name brand tires like BF Goodrich, Uniroyal, Michelin, and Cooper tires. They also offer the best in mechanical repairs and service. You can't beat Charlie's Tire, 825 South Main Street, Bellingham. Charlie's Tire also offers the best in truck and high-performance tires, and they accept all major credit cards. So for top service at fair prices, for tires or mechanical repairs, it's Charlie's Tires. Remember, to get a tune-up on your vehicle, to keep your car running smooth, call Charlie's Tires, 508-883-1211.
The Coffee and Panel is enjoying coffee from Down East Coffee in Pawtucket. They're a 62-year-old family business that roasts all its coffee right here in Rhode Island. Founded originally as Excellent Coffee Company, they provide great coffee to food service establishments throughout New England. Coffee and here on ON AM and FM. Thanks for joining us this morning. This is Joe Callahan here with Dave Richards and Melissa Murray as well. And we'll get Melissa's take on this one first. The Fane Tower project in Providence is dead.
Surprising, but not surprising.
And then-
Really?
they're not
Okay.
feigning
That was a
death.
question. That's a good one, Dave. The luxury residential skyscraper project, known as the Fane Tower, is done. The I-195 Commission Chairman, Mark Crisafulli, announced on Friday, Fane organization has decided not to pursue the project. Did they give a reason why?
Well,
Just too many.
There was
too
a
many,
lot of
too much red tape?
opposition.
Yeah.
yeah,
okay.
stop and think about it. It's kind of like the Paw Sox.
Yeah, they wanted too much.
Right.
Not
No.
not
No,
necessarily.
it's kind of like the Paw Sox. It's going to cost you an awful lot of money
Yeah.
to stay
Public
where
money?
you're not welcome.
Okay. Yeah. They wanted to make it the tallest building in Rhode Island, but local officials say they've been divided on the project. Some liked it, and others said nope. It didn't align with the city's comprehensive plan.
Well, this
It
which
didn't
is
include
crazy
affordable
because
units.
the southern end of Providence needs the most work, and
Yeah.
and this is in the southern end of Providence, Dyer Street.
Mm-hmm.
Right, that whole area,
Yeah.
that whole place could use a reason for smiling,
Yeah.
and that kind of a project could make you smile.
But
Well,
it's not,
there was controversy over the design, that the design didn't fit in. There was controversy over the
they needed
price.
green shingles, right?
Right, the price of the housing
units,
unit of the
yeah.
units that were, a lot of folks were arguing. There's a lot of public pushback that, we need more affordable units in Providence,
That's right.
not more
We
high-end
want to have 46
units.
stories of people who can't pay their rent.
So it was just from the beginning. This is years and years and years of pushback,
Right.
pushback.
all right. So, any idea what might go on that land now?
Oh well, that
Believe
leaves
me,
a big
it will
open
be
door.
somebody who
Yeah.
works with the state's idea.
And whatever it is, there will be pushback. There'll be a NIMBY
matter
factor.
what it
I'm
is?
Sure, of course.
I think Joe Paolino should come in, take the Christopher Columbus statue he bought,
Oh,
and put
no,
it there.
no. Why would you even cause that kind of chaos? Don't even put that out there.
Because I want chaos. So.
You want chaos. Because it's not us, so we don't have to worry about
That's
it.
right. So, how does this really affect me? Well, it really doesn't.
No,
so.
no. I don't know if there's anything planned or
Planned
coming
for
down the
there?
pipeline. Stay tuned, I guess.
Okay, so it's dead. So in case you were planning on buying, put your money into something else. All right. So
Well, who wants to
yeah.
spend millions and millions and millions, hundreds of millions of dollars someplace where they're not welcome? So there.
I know.
I mean,
go
Right.
someplace else.
The easiest thing to do in the world is to criticize.
Of course.
Coming up with a fresh new idea is hard. Developing it into a plan or a project is incredibly hard.
Didn't we talk about that, Melissa, last week? Either Wednesday or Thursday, because someone was criticizing RIPTA. And they said, and you asked me, well, what's their plan to fix it? Well, there isn't one.
Right.
It's just you're wrong, and it's
to
broke.
Right. It's easy to criticize, and then you ask, well, what would you suggest? Well, I don't know,
I don't
but
know.
not what you're proposing.
I can tell. I can tell what you already have is not right.
Yes, I just don't like it.
So get rid of it.
Okay,
Start over. I don't know.
it was a funky looking building that was being proposed, and so there were people who just didn't like the way it looked, and then there were people.
Well,
say,
that's art,
"Oh,
isn't it?
Yeah.
Sure, and it's subjective. There's public art that I don't particularly care for, but I'm not going to say, well, I don't. I think they should take it down because I don't like it. Art is
Yeah,
art.
but you're a state
art is
senator.
art.
Did you ever get a translation for the hieroglyphics on the what do they call it now? The AMP thing.
The Amica Mutual Pavilion.
right,
There's
right.
hieroglyphics on it.
Well, yeah, they put those neon symbols on it. Oh, I was looking for a translation.
Oh.
Like
That was like
to serve man or
long,
something like that.
Long
you
time
know?
ago. No, that was just those are just ugly.
It's
Yeah.
just drawings. They don't mean anything.
No, it
It was
I never
neon.
called them ugly. I called them interesting. And now, what's the point?
Right. It was neon art, like abstract neon art. That was a while ago. Yeah, I always thought it was ugly.
I didn't get over it. Nobody ever answered my question.
I don't know what
are
it
these
was.
on the-
I don't know what it
table?
means.
Are these on the outside of the building?
Yes,
Yeah.
you drive by and see them from the
Highway?
interstate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, next time I'm doing that, I'll have to
I
take
think
a
that was
look
their
over.
point.
So,
Right.
So people go, what does that mean? Let's call Amica and try to find out.
Why did you put those
It
things up
very
there?
much predates. I mean, that was back when it was the Dunk, right?
Oh yeah.
Was
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they've been there for
Why
a
did you
long
put those
time.
things that make little boys like you ask questions?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make us stand out.
Okay.
And we're not the Providence Place Mall. It's not the convention center. It's us.
Right.
See? So when you're
We're the
going there,
one that-
look for the green
We're the
squiggly
ones that
lines.
started it all.
Yeah. And that way, people from out of town, hey, you can't miss it. It's the one with the green hieroglyphics on the side. Oh, okay.
There's a green and pink and
Is it?
Yeah.
other things. Yeah, yeah.
All right. Well, I don't know if that answers your question, Dave.
No,
There's
still
no
waiting.
answer. Right.
All right.
Still waiting.
Who
No,
was the
it's still on table.
mysterious artist 30
Well-
years ago?
They probably moved on. All right. Well, not only did we have a murder in Blackstone, we had a murder in Pawtucket as well.
A few hours later.
Yeah. Matthew Dufresne was picked up at his residence on Eddington Street in Pawtucket. An 84-year-old victim, who I believe was also, his last name was also Dufresne, if I read that correctly. I could be wrong. Read that on Channel 12's website.
All right.
It sounds like a father-son thing.
Domestic.
I'm not watching the websites as much as you are,
Yeah.
Joe, so I can't. tell you.
The man that was killed, elderly man, 84-year-old victim. He was found dead on Saturday night. And again, the police are saying another domestic incident that's going on. The younger Dufresne here, the 34-year-old, I don't have his age. But the younger one, he's scheduled to be arraigned in Providence District Court this morning. So Well, the court systems are busy this morning. With
Yeah,
arraignments.
crazy weekend. Is there a full moon or something?
A little past the
No,
full
way
moon.
past the full moon.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
more than a week past the full moon.
And in a surprise to nobody, a federal judge has ordered a mental health evaluation on the man that tried to take over the airplane coming from L.A. to Boston, after he allegedly tried to stab the flight attendant with a broken spoon.
Yeah. That
Makes
seems
perfect sense.
Appropriate.
And is he still in Central Falls? As far as I know, he's still at the Wyatt Detention Center.
Most likely.
So, okay. So, makes you wonder, why is he there? Why isn't he in Massachusetts somewhere?
It's because it's a federal
Right.
crime, right?
So no federal
Right.
federal
And he was
prisons?
taken into custody officially in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
But he's in Wyatt.
But why is he
Not
in
only that,
Central
he's a
Falls?
Massachusetts resident,
That's
which
right,
would
he's
add
from
any,
Leominster.
any other explanation on top of that. But where the federal authorities took possession of him and arrested him was Massachusetts. So
But why is he in Rhode Island then?
because because he's on federal charges.
Yes.
And the nearest federal prison which had room was the Wyatt.
Okay.
So that's where they held him in Central Falls because, folks in Massachusetts think Rhode Island's just a suburb of Massachusetts.
Or Boston.
Right.
Okay. I mean, yeah, it's not that far away, but
Sure.
okay.
But it's a federal prison, so that's
Right.
where they put him, awaiting trial. Now he'll be the guest of some state hospital.
You think so? You think he'll
I
go
do.
there, or will they just do the evaluation at the prison?
Nah, I don't know. There's money in keeping him at some state hospital.
Well, yeah, but if you watch Law and Order, and TV's always right,
Oh, yeah.
they sometimes just do the evaluation at the prison. So
No.
yes, they do.
You gotta
But in
look,
real life.
you got to look at the money is. First of all, on the TV show, the fewer sets you have to build, the less money it costs
Well, right,
to make the episode. So you're going to try to reuse sets
Yeah.
already. So, but in real life, when you've got politicians and you've got hospitals and stuff like, everybody's vying for a piece of the pie, the federal money. So they all want to have them housed at their place.
So should he go to a mental hospital in Massachusetts?
Or anywhere they
Or
want to send them, but
federal, yeah.
a
May
mental
depend on if it's
hospital would
opening.
probably be, I
Right.
don't have high confidence in that sort of thing. I've known too many psychiatrists and psychologists in my life, but I recognize that you have to try
To do the evaluation.
to do the evaluation, to treat, and everything else. That not trying is totally wrong, but I don't have a great deal of confidence in the system in helping people that don't want to be helped. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And when it comes to mental issues, sometimes people don't want to be helped.
Right. So do you think he'll just be found not competent then to stand trial?
Well, that really requires information that I don't have to make
Yeah.
an opinion like that, Joe. But I will say this. The guy acted nuts.
From what we can
He
tell,
acted,
yeah.
and no matter how he acted or why he acted, he presented a clear danger to himself and others.
Yeah.
And so the system has to deal with him the best way the system can.
Right. Okay. Let's see. So it doesn't say when the evaluation will take place, just that the judge has ordered it, and please get to it as soon as you can, and then
Well, they may be
Let us know.
busy, or
well, yeah, they got other things to do, and
of course they have other people
To
to
evaluate.
evaluate. I'm sure. So he'll be put in the hopper.
yeah, you're in line. Okay. So the winter storm is coming, Dave and Melissa.
I
So,
heard that.
Yeah.
So not bad
I heard
today.
somebody say that on the radio.
And but the rain's going to start later this afternoon into tonight, and then into tomorrow morning, and then we'll have the big switchover at some point on Tuesday morning. We'll then switch to snow, and then the wind's coming.
Oh,
So
the
we got a
wind's
lot
going to
of
be a
wind-
big feature of this
wind
one,
coming,
boys and
so-
girls.
So it makes you wonder, when do we call off school?
Well,
Right. Well,
Well,
if the storm plays out the way that it looks like it's going to now, and I always preface that because
yeah, it
you
can always
know,
change.
On Saturday, there was just like rain coming. Sunday, they said 3 to 5 inches
And now-
on Tuesday night. Monday morning, they're saying
Closer to a
3
foot.
to 7 inches
Yeah.
during the day Tuesday, and then another 4 to 6 at night. So you see these things do develop, and as they get closer, you can make a better guess on how it's going to affect a particular area. And this is all natural because more information comes in, you have more information to refine your judgment. So we're not done seeing an upgrade of the storm, I don't believe. I think at 11 o'clock, it won't change much. By 5 p.m. this afternoon, you're going to see some things change in that forecast. I'm
Either for good or bad.
Yeah,
right?
I'm not going to get into my guesses as to which way it's going to go.
Yeah.
Although the trends are looking like you got to stay close to the radio because things could change. All right, so right now, if it doesn't change, if I were running a school system, I would look at it and say, if you bring them in tomorrow, there's likely to be an early dismissal.
Okay.
There won't have to be an early dismissal according to the forecast, exactly the way it looks right now. But it will be snowing an inch or so at school release time. So then the judgment will be: do you want the buses taking them home when there's an inch or two on the ground?
Or before. Yeah.
Yeah, because, and here's the thing that colors your judgment. We're going to have a half an inch or so of rain, maybe 3/4 an inch of rain before it starts switching over to snow, which means it's not going to stick right away. It's going to be slush right away. So the first couple of inches, as far as travel on the roads, don't count. Because they're going to be very slushy and easily got rid of. And so you could probably get the kids home from school. I can tell you that tomorrow's commute will be unattractive.
The afternoon commute.
Yeah, tomorrow's afternoon's commute will be unattractive. It will not be a fun thing for a lot of people, depending on your equipment. And since we've had such a mild winter so far, some people may have let the equipment they used to drive around in be a little less sharp than usual. I mean, maybe you didn't change your tires because we haven't been having much in the way of snow, things like that. Or maybe you yourself aren't quite in practice.
No, right.
Because it's been quite a few months since you've driven in a good snowstorm. Well, this will be a quote-unquote good snowstorm. By definition, it will be a blizzard because you'll have multiple inches of snow. Right now, if you get the worst of it, it'll be over a foot of snow, 13 inches. And the winds will howl above 40 miles an hour for a sustained period of time. They're saying 12 hours of 50 miles an hour or more wind. So that's a blizzard, friends.
Makes
So
it
we're
tough
not here to
shovel.
scare you. We're not here to scare you. We're just telling,
those are the facts.
We're telling you
Yeah.
what we see
Yeah.
according to our best information, and we implore you always, not just so you listen to the radio station. That's not what we're looking for. And you can just go to the website if you want and take a look at it. But we want you to stay up to date with the forecast because, as I said at the beginning of this diatribe, we have conditions changeable. Very changeable. But right now, you've got a winter storm warning. You want me to do the forecast now, Joe? Because it's coming up.
It is, and it's being
I'll do it
sponsored
live.
by
Just hand this to me.
the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation.
All right, so it's a good lead-in, so let me just get into it. Winter storm warning is in effect for Woonsocket right now. Not a watch. We had a watch all weekend long. Now it's a winter storm warning, which means that conditions are not just favorable, but likely to create a winter storm. Today, we have rain starting around 3-ish this afternoon. Cloudy all day. You're not going to see the sun till all this is over on Thursday. Yep, Thursday. Cloudy skies and 42 today. The wind will be calm, as it usually is before a winter storm. Tonight, rain mainly after 10 p.m., low of 36, easterly winds that will buck up to about 30 miles per hour. So not gale force yet, but you got a good 80% chance of a half an inch to 3/4 of an inch of rain overnight tonight. That's a lot of rain, by the way. So you're going to have the rain tonight, but it's going to stay rain all night, in all probability. Tomorrow, it'll be Tuesday. The rain continues for a few hours during the morning commute. Then the rain and snow will mix for a few hours, becoming all snow afternoon. The snow could be heavy at times, high of 37. Tomorrow, the wind will howl over 50 miles per hour. New snow accumulation, again later in the day, of 3 to 7 inches by the time the daytime is over. So you're looking at 3 to 7 inches in roughly 4 to 6 hours. That's more than an inch an hour
That's
in some cases.
Yep.
That's
a
snow.
blizzard.
That's snow. And with the winds over 40 miles an hour, because they're going to be over 50, that's a blizzard. That's tomorrow afternoon, late and into the evening. Tuesday night, more snow, could be heavy at times. Temperature will drop to 33 in all probability. Wind gusts over 55 miles per hour. Your chance of snow on Tuesday night is only 90%, but they're saying even heavier during the daytime, 4 to 6 inches on top of the 3 to 7. On Wednesday, snow ending in the morning, probably around noontime. Although it'll be tapering off all morning. It's not going to be the blizzard during Wednesday morning. Mostly cloudy for the remainder of the day, 40 degrees for a high, and winds only to gale force 40 miles per hour. Your chance of snow on Wednesday is 60% and maybe an inch on top of everything else you got. Okay? So when you're all done, we're looking at a total snow accumulation of 8 to 14 inches. Okay. Thursday, sunny and 47, starts melting. Friday, St. Patty's Day, mostly cloudy, but 50 degrees,
Yikes.
and it keeps melting. Friday night, some rain comes in, 50-50 chance. That'll melt the snow down into the gutters. Saturday, 70% chance of rain with cloudy skies and 53. That's going to melt the snow too. And on Sunday, mostly sunny and 42. And that's your in-depth weather forecast.
Thanks,
Wear
Dave.
your galoshes.
That's right.
the
Milk
Crohn-
and bread run today.
That's right. The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has been at the forefront of inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more about research, education, and support at Crohn'sColitisFoundation.org.
For an Allstate agent, providing protection options that fit your life is something they take, well, personally. Allstate agents are committed to learning about your needs and helping customize protection to meet them. From bundling your home and auto insurance with ease to evaluating optional coverage, your Allstate agent can help build an insurance proposal that fits your life. And just as important as learning what you need is learning what you don't. Because helping you get coverage you want with savings you deserve is what Allstate is all about. It's time to get coverage that's catered to you. Are you in good hands? Call Kara and Celeste Benjamin at the Benjamin Agency. One agency, 2 locations in North Smithfield and Bellingham. One telephone number, 765-5000. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Allstate Property and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Dr. Jeffrey Dodge believes that good communication is important because it makes patients feel relaxed, reassured, so the visit can be a positive experience. It's important to listen to what patients have to say and to explain clearly what procedures or treatment is best. Dr. Dodge is a family dentist and welcomes children, adults, and senior citizens. And remember, it's important to take good care of your teeth at any age. Dr. Jeffrey Dodge, 1438 Park Avenue, Woonsocket. At Park Square, 762-3044.
Hi, this is Joe Callahan, your maitre d' inside the Tiki Bar, heard Monday nights at 6 on ON Radio. It's 1 full hour of Jimmy Buffett music. The Tiki Bar is brought to you by Attorney Bob Lauder, the Carew Investment Group, Pep & Lumber, and Family Discount Furniture. Coffee Ann on ON Radio. Yes, please remember Tiki Bar tonight at 6 here on ON.
In the tiki bar.
That's Dave Richards, and Melissa Murray is here as well. Well, it's always odd, and this happened in Massachusetts. Someone has robbed a postal worker. It doesn't normally happen.
That's a federal crime.
Yeah, that is a
That's
federal offense.
what I'm thinking as
Yeah.
well. You can't screw around with the mail, and
Yeah.
So there's a $25,000 reward out, and it looks like the person was looking for something specific. They didn't just say just
yeah.
give me all the mail,
Right.
and I'll make a run for it. She actually stole the Arrow key, ARROW. Now the Arrow key can
We
open
know what that is.
USPS mailboxes throughout the town.
Right.
So they're looking to get more. And I think you think they're looking just for like checks. That
There must be something specific.
people that send checks in the mail, and I'll just grab it and I'll sign it and deposit it into my account. Or is he looking for? Or you think they're looking
I mean,
for
not
something else?
not that all criminals are smart, but that's awfully risky, isn't it? Like, I'm going to steal the key, and then I'm going to wait around, and no one will be suspecting that I'm sure they won't be monitoring all the boxes, right, when I come in and start going through people's mailboxes. I mean,
Well, it's those big ones you see on the side of the road.
those
kind.
Well, I mean,
Not just going up to people's personal mailboxes.
well, no, I was thinking in the post office, like the.
Well, it says throughout the town, so I'm thinking
Throughout
it's those ones that you see
Yeah.
on the side of the road.
I know, and there's hardly any of those anymore,
Oh,
too,
I know there
right?
are,
Like,
but, so they're easy to
yeah.
keep track of. Or did they mail something and now want it back?
who knows? Who goes
I know
through
it's
the
a
minds of these
it's
folks
a
that-
bizarre story.
Yeah.
And probably even more bizarre for the postal worker.
Right. Give me your key. Give me your key.
And did they ask for an arrow key? And if they did, is it an inside job? Someone like I wouldn't know to ask for the key that unlocks all the mailboxes.
Right.
I didn't even know there was one. So
It's very specific.
it sounds very specific. So it sounds like
Sounds like
they
they're
know
after
what they're
something
doing.
and they know what they're after.
So
Yeah.
that just makes me
Someone
think
expecting a delivery,
a
someone expecting a
disgruntled
check.
postal worker has been fired.
Who knows?
Okay, so
Oh, boy.
that's what's going up in Randolph, Massachusetts. So, and I was just there last week. I didn't see anything, by the way, going on.
It wasn't you.
It was not me. My wife put a stop to it. Nope, it was not me. All right, so there's an uncertain future for the Jamestown Newport ferry. I didn't even know there was one. They're so close to each other. You can almost walk. The town of Jamestown claims the ferry operator, Connecticut Marine Services, is improperly using a public portion of the marina. Connecticut is asking the public to urge the Jamestown Town Council to continue negotiations on a new lease. Jamestown Newport Ferry runs from May to October.
But maybe not.
Or maybe not this year.
Maybe not at all.
And how much is it to ride the Jamestown to Newport Ferry?
We've done it.
I don't know. How do
We,
you-
we did Coffee Ann down there. And we,
On the ferry? On the ferry?
Well, yeah, because
yeah.
we were doing a TV show, recording Coffee Ann, so we took the ferry because we had a lot of equipment and everything, and so we did that, and so it serves a purpose because we had to finish in one place and then very quickly set up in the other place, and I believe that we were going to Jamestown. No, we were in Jamestown. We had to go over to Newport. And this is quite a number of years ago, so I'm not super clear on it. But I do remember that if we'd have packed everything up in the vehicles, we didn't have the big truck then, and then drove across the bridges.
Yep. You wouldn't have made it?
The setup time and everything. So, but the ferry docked very close to where we had to be next. And so the ferry was just the way to go. And I don't recall, it was very reasonable.
Okay.
Very, very reasonable. And it comes right up to the dock, and you just wheel all your stuff onto it. You get on, it ends up on another dock, you wheel your stuff off, and then you set up and you're gone.
Just makes you wonder, what the Jamestown Town Council is thinking when they say that the owner is improperly using a public portion of the marina. Is it because the new lease hasn't gone into effect and they're still in negotiations, so you can't use the public portion, and they are? Or what? And how many marinas are in Jamestown?
Probably.
Does it ring the whole island?
How many coffee shops in Woonsocket?
All right. Quite a few then. All right, I see.
Right.
Okay, well, Well, that's what they have to deal with,
Right.
Every
Every town is different. Yeah.
different,
different.
issues.
Yeah.
All right.
Coastal issues
Yep.
that we don't have.
So we brought it up last week when town manager Dennis Frayne was here. Dave.
Everybody's talking about that show.
And
A lot of people heard of that one.
And Governor Healy in Massachusetts She's receptive to the possibility of allowing Boston to impose rent control. And will it work? Will it not work? Guess you don't know until you try it.
Right.
It hasn't worked in other places. But why will this work? I don't know. Boston Mayor Michelle Wu proposal has been approved by the Boston City Council, but it still needs to be endorsed by the legislature and governor.
Boston's always been so out of control with
Yeah.
rents.
Yeah,
I
that in
mean,
New York.
for always. I don't think rent control is a bad idea in certain places.
Oh, come now.
I don't.
Read your
No.
history books, lady. Yeah. Find out how it worked out in the 60s and 70s in Manhattan.
Well, I mean, when people talk about rent
Created
control now,
slum areas.
then maybe does it mean, okay, your landlord can't give you, like a 50% rent increase in 1 year? Is it only up to certain percentage there where they can increase only up to a certain percentage? That is also considered, rent control. It's not keeping the cost the same in perpetuity.
But didn't we have it last week, Dave, where the landlords could impose a 10% rent increase plus 7%?
That's a lot.
Yeah. So it looked like every year they could impose a 17% raise.
That's a lot.
That was the rent control. I'm like,
Yeah, that's
Bologna, you're listening to yourselves? Did you just see what the city of Woonsocket, for only one example, just did to landlords
Oh yeah.
with multi-unit housing?
Yep.
Doubling in taxes?
Yep.
Not the tax rate, the taxes.
Yeah. When we were, my family was one of them.
Somebody's got to speak sanity here. It is not. Well, listen. In any group, and I hasten to add, there are even broadcasters I would not sit down and break bread with because they are just not good people. In any group, there's going to be a few that you don't want to associate with, and you wish weren't in your group. But when you take landlords, landlords become defensive because of bad tenants, and being squeezed from bad tenants on one end and government regulations on the other end. It makes you wonder why you'd ever want to be a landlord. And some have gotten out of the business because there's just so much stress to it all.
It's really hard.
So now, if you're going to tell the landlords, by the way, we don't care how much we raise taxes. We don't care how much your expenses are. We don't care how much your people trash your apartments and don't pay their rent. You cannot increase your rents to make up the money that you lost. Great. The floggings will continue till morale improves. And now all you're going to have left is the scurvy lot that doesn't care for their tenants. That's all you'll have left.
The way I see in this
Look
city,
at New York City. Look at Manhattan Island. It happened.
there's a lot of management companies that have now come in and own hundreds of units, and there's multiple, and that's going on here in Woonsocket. And so they say, oh, we're charging market rate. Well, when you own, a quarter or a third of the units in Woonsocket, you get to set market rate.
Yeah.
And so you have these big companies coming up, managing all of these different units that they were able to scoop up when they were really cheap, and they can do whatever they want to people. And I'm not talking about like the mom and pops, and my family is getting out of the rental business because the tax bill this year, it was just too much.
Right.
And I recently moved, and it's been very difficult, but we never charged exorbitant rents. We never charged application fees. We always just met with the person and
Evaluated their ability to pay rent and be
right,
peaceable.
and maybe called to make sure that they really worked what they said that they worked, but never
Yeah.
ran a credit check or anything like that. But those days are kind of over, and unfortunately, these management companies and these big companies that own all these units, they're setting the rules and they're abusing people. And what is the answer? How do you protect the renters with also protecting the real
owners.
genuinely caring owners that are just using the rent to subsidize their
It's real
rents
simple.
and incomes.
You trot yourself down there to your Senate chamber, and you begin a movement like they had 25, 30 years ago in Massachusetts, where taxes cannot be increased by an exorbitant amount of money. and the communities have to live within their means. And if there was an emergency that the populace decided was significant enough to go on a higher percentage increase, that you could engage the populace to allow themselves to be taxed at the higher rate in the majority, then fine, and that's your little escape valve in case cataclysms happen. But you get down there and you start doing something like a Proposition 2.5 and cut the phony baloney of just posturing and talking about how bad things are and this must be addressed. My favorite thing from Jack Reed, who used to be a very intelligent person before he became a U.S. Senator, in my opinion. I would sit down and talk with this guy, and he would impress me with his brilliance. And the last couple of interviews that I was a party to, he just like reaches and grabs a stock answer and throws it at you if it looks like it might nudge up against the question that you asked. Seriously speaking, the guy, we must address this. We must address this. We must address this. Everybody's talking about addressing things and nobody's getting anything done. So you just engage the rest of your senatorial colleagues and looking at a Proposition 2.5 matter, or you will be up to your necks again.
Well, we'll see what takes place
Think
in
ahead.
Boston.
How did they do this in Massachusetts? I don't know. I mean, I don't consider people who dwell and live in Massachusetts any smarter than the people in Rhode Island. I don't think they're better than us. But in a shining moment, Massachusetts got sober and realized how bad things were in the 70s, and in the 1980s passed Proposition 2.5 to keep it from happening again. And Massachusetts is able to do things now that Rhode Island simply cannot do, whether it wanted to or not, because of that. When the opera funds are gone, this state's doomed. Do you realize that?
Yep, I do.
So you better start passing some laws right now that it's going to protect people.
All right, on that note, remember the joke was Massachusetts was Taxachusetts.
It was.
They don't joke
right.
that way anymore.
Nobody says that. And nobody has a
No.
reason to say that now.
That's
Not
right.
that everything's mild and rosy
Oh, no,
in
it's not
Massachusetts,
perfect.
of course.
Right.
But
All right, break time here in the Coffee and program. More coming your way. Stick around.
Hi, this is Dr. Eugenio Fernandez Jr. from Astina's Pharmacy. It's not too late to get your flu shot and the new Cobra booster. You can even get them both in the same visit. Vaccines reduce your risk of serious illness or hospitalization. Protect yourself and those around you. Call your doctor or pharmacy today. For more information, visit health.ri.gov/flu. That's health.ri.gov/flu.
This message is brought to you by the Rhode Island Department of Health and the Rhode Island Broadcasters Association.
1, 2, 3, go.
Go where?
Tell them.
Tell them what?
Never mind. That is Manny Brando, and I am Virginia. And together we bring you the Manny Brando Show every Sunday from 8:30 to 9:30 a.m. over ON, AM, and FM.
I like to say something now.
No, time's up. It's Sundays, 8:30 to 9:30 a.m.
Too early for me.
Too bad.
You can depend on us for public service. ON Radio.
It is Coffee and on ON Radio. Thanks for joining us. This is Joe Callahan here with Melissa Murray and Dave Richards as well. And I'm so glad that I made the right decision months ago. And the decision was, the announcement was made that Bruce Springsteen was coming around.
Yes.
First tour in 4 or 5 years or whatever.
Right.
And he was coming to Mohegan Sun. And he's going to be up in Boston a little later on in the summer. He's going to be at Gillette Stadium too, by the way. And I saw the the price of tickets, and I went, "Oh my gosh,
Insane."
I don't think so. Do you know what happened over the weekend?
He canceled.
He canceled his shows. Someone's sick in the band. Doesn't say who. Could be him. I don't know. But he canceled a few shows. Well,
Yep.
postponed is what they really saying, and they say we're trying to reschedule.
Right. All that money.
Well, you'll get your money back, I guess, if you have the tickets. But just imagine, maybe this is your first chance to see him and see the band, and now that you might not be able to.
want to know what my guess is?
On what?
Because
On, yeah.
Well, I mean, I did come up with a cynical thought when you mentioned all of that, based on some experiences that I've had in my lifetime, that the somebody being sick is a plausible red herring, that they didn't like the level of ticket sales, and so they're going to pull the plugs and start again.
But they can't. They postponed the show in Connecticut and then another one in New York, in Albany, 2 days later.
Yeah.
Same reason.
Yeah. Ticket sales are soft at that price point.
I don't think so because I've gone online to take a look, and the prices are still very high, and they're up near the ceiling. Everything on the floor
Right,
is
because
sold.
of scarcity.
Well, right, but so ticket
You
sales
have
are,
too many concerts. You
ticket
can't
sales-
sell as many people.
but ticket sales have been good. Most of the seats are gone.
You think so?
At Mohegan Sun. So
I doubt that. I think it's Ticketmaster blocking them off.
well, maybe I can't tell. I just go by
And
by
that
ticket
means
what's available.
they're not sold. They just reserved.
Maybe.
Well, there were a
But
lot
they'll
of
show
room
up as a
cancellations
sale.
also.
They'll show up as a sale on the band's website.
Yeah.
Because I just had a lot of experience with this, Joe, and there's a lot of gaming that goes on.
Mm-hmm. But
And,
it's Bruce.
But it's
Miss
Bruce.
Bruce, right.
And but it's Bruce means there's scarcity. But
Yeah,
if Bruce is
yeah.
in too many places, there's not so much scarcity.
Mm-hmm.
And if you put in the high prices, now you have a scarcity of ticket buyers.
But I've seen bands do the same thing, play in Connecticut, play in New York, play one place in Boston, and everything's fine, and then they move on to other
Hey,
places
when I was
around the
growing up,
country.
they played in Providence, then they played
Well,
in
they
Lincoln,
don't.
then they played in Bellingham,
well,
and then
that's
they
right.
played in Milford,
Well, that
and
doesn't happen anymore.
Yeah,
then in
that doesn't happen
Framingham,
anymore.
and then over in Boston,
Nope,
and then they
nope,
went to Manchester.
No, that doesn't happen
Yep.
anymore.
No, and I know that a lot of the rooms in Mohegan were also canceled because of that. Because I know someone
Oh,
who gets an
sure.
alert who is like, "Oh yeah, all of a sudden they're like really cheap rooms available for tonight if you want to come on down."
Yeah,
So nobody
'cause no
was
one showed
staying,
up.
so the venue lost money too. So I'm sure there must be some kind of clause that because casinos
lose
don't
all
like
that
to lose money,
No.
right?
All right. Good story over the weekend. This is out of West Omaha, Nebraska. And you hear about this every once in a while.
I never knew there was a West Omaha.
There's a West Omaha. There is.
Okay.
There's an Omaha, and then there's a West. It's kind of like
Right.
North Providence.
Really?
Yeah.
I guess so. I
guess
can understand
people
that.
in Omaha.
Just like North Providence.
Well, people in Omaha don't go. There's a town called North Providence. Well, there's Providence.
Right.
All right. So there's that. So, but it's a waiter received a $5,000 tip.
Wow.
Pop singer Jason
In
Derulo.
Omaha?
Yeah. Pop
Sorry,
singer
West Omaha?
Jason
West Omaha.
Derulo. Ever hear of him? I've never heard
The
of
waiter?
him. No. The pop singer.
Oh.
His name is Jason Derulo.
Okay.
No.
I-
Anyway,
yeah,
the waiter's name
vaguely
is
familiar.
the waiter's name is Jordan Schaefer, and he spoke about he was waiting on Derulo and his family at Charleston's. That's the name of the restaurant. He says the unexpected tip will go towards his college tuition. Derulo was in the Omaha area on a business trip. He wasn't performing.
Very
He
nice.
just happened to
Very
be there.
nice.
And,
Well,
it doesn't say what the tip.
If
what
you
the bill was.
impress, a tip is a gratuity. That means thankfulness.
Yeah.
And if they were thankful for the service and they've got the means, go
Yeah,
nuts.
pay it forward, right? Sure.
Yeah.
Well,
I have left tips that probably would make both of you scratch your heads. I don't have the same means as this man. Mm-hmm. But I've left tips that, 40, 50% when I'm
Yep.
particularly impressed. And I've got a couple of shekels in my pocket, and I just want to make the person feel good about what they were doing.
Yep. Same.
Now I'm embarrassed because I went out with a friend on Friday night. We went to a restaurant and sat at the bar and had a few drinks, and I think the total bill came to $26, and we left $31.
If it's just cocktails, the old
it was
right.
just
So like
drinks.
the old thing was to like $1 a cocktail, right? Isn't that like what people usually tip?
Well, I just do the usual 20%.
Right. Yeah, I think it. Yeah, it
20%
depends.
of 26 was a little over $5. So.
I guess it's a little different, like where less people take cash now, right? So you just like do $1, and then like you did $1 a cocktail. I don't know. I always thought that was like the tipping thing for just
Well,
drinks.
I don't know about that. You know what I'll do also sometimes.
Now that
if a
drinks are
server-
$14 each.
If a server does a particularly good job, I would do the usual 20-25% tip.
Yeah.
But I would give it to them in cash.
Yeah.
I write
me
on the
too.
slip.
we
I may
pay-
be paying with a card, and right down there where it says tip, I put down
0.
cash. No, you don't put down 0 because then everybody knows you're lying. I just put down cash, and I'll just hand the money to the server, just because I'm grateful.
Yeah, I do that as well.
And by the way, for those of you who have been wondering, what time does Paulette Hamilton get up on her birthday?
Yes, I have been wondering that all day.
Right.
It is her birthday today.
Inquiry minds want to know.
Right. It's 8:58 a.m. She just looked at the text I sent her at 6:30 this morning.
Did she say thank you?
She said thanks, yes.
All right, very
I
good.
said happy birthday to Paulette this morning in a text because I didn't want to ring a phone number, because a joke's a joke, right? You don't want to actually wake somebody up if they're sleeping. But if you're wondering,
But
what
to wish
time,
them a happy
what
birthday.
time did
Yeah.
Paulette get up on her birthday? Almost 9 o'clock.
There you go.
Good,
Very nice. All right, we've come to the end of the program. Thanks for listening, as always, everyone. Dave Richards, thanks for sticking around today.
Well, it's been a real interesting conversation today, Joe, and we urge everyone to think ahead and be ready
Yes.
for a storm.
Very
That's
good.
right.
And Melissa Murray, thanks for coming in.
Thank you, and happy birthday, Paulette. It's always good to sleep in, especially on a morning like this when it's just
Cloudy.
nobody
and
wanted to get out of
cold.
bed. I didn't want to get out of
That's
bed,
right.
but
All right, this is Joe Callahan. Stay tuned. We got music coming your way. We also got Leslie Page at the library and
She's in the
Karen
building now.
Gary with the food
Food
program.
First.
Food First. There we go. And don't forget about the Tiki Bar coming up tonight at 6 here on ON Radio.
Broadcasting live and local daily from the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street. This is WOON Woonsocket Radio. And now, the news